Welcome everybody, and today we're looking at polynomials operations lesson 5. So we've been looking at multiplying a monomial by a polynomial, and we just looked at multiplying two binomials together using FOIL or an area diagram. And today we are going to start looking at multiplying larger expressions together. So we're going to look at a binomial and a trinomial. It's the same idea. All the terms in the first bracket have to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. It's just a matter of doing it step by step so that you don't miss a term. There's so many little things going on that you can easily forget about something or miss a term, and the whole question gets messed up. So I would suggest showing your work, writing everything down, and going through it slowly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this first question here, and I'm going to move on to the class examples. I think it's just going to be a quicker way to teach this. So I will show you how to do area diagrams for this, and I will show you how to use the distributive property, and then you can choose whichever one works best for you. So if I were to do an area diagram of this question right here, question A, I have x squared minus 4, all multiplied by 2x to the power of 3 plus x minus 5. So I'm going to write my x squared. Okay, hang on, let me try that again. X squared minus 4 and then above it, I didn't leave myself a ton of room, but above it, I'm going to write the second polynomial, 2x cubed plus x minus 5. And now you just have to multiply the two terms together. So in this box here, I'll do 2x cubed multiplied by x squared, and I get 2x to the power of 5. In the next box, I have x squared multiplied by x, and it's going to be x cubed. And then I have x squared multiplied by negative 5 is going to give me negative 5x squared. Don't forget that in that term here, that negative 5 term, I had to take into account that sign in front of the 5. If I just put that as 5, I wouldn't get the same answer. Same with this one down here, this negative 4, that comes from this negative 4 here, and I can't forget about that. Now we go through the second row. We have negative 4 multiplied by 2x to the power of 3 gives me negative 8 x to the power of 3. And then let's see if we can fix that 3. Negative 4 multiplied by x gives me negative 4x. And then negative 4 multiplied by negative 5, that gives me positive 20. So I'm going to rewrite everything out, and I'm going to look for my like terms. I can see the only like terms I have are right here and here. So I don't have a lot of room, so I'll just rewrite my equation here. 2x to the power of 5. There's something on my screen right there. There we go. 2x to the power of 5. And then I'm going to combine the terms highlighted in green right away. So I have negative x to the power of 3 and a positive 1x to the power of 3. So that gives me negative 7x to the power of 3. And then I have negative 5x to the power of 2 minus 4x plus 20. And I wrote my polynomial in descending order, which is pretty standard. And it's a good habit to be in. I mean, it's not wrong if you do it in other orders, but it helps with the organization. So I have the highest degree term first, and then I go from there. So the highest exponent to the lowest exponent, x to the power of 5, x to the power of 3, x to the power of 2, x, and then my constant, which is awesome. The other way to do it is to use your distributive property. So what I'm going to do is You can see here in question B, I have 2y squared minus 3y minus 7, all multiplied by y minus 6. So I'm going to start with the lowest number of terms. I'm going to start in the term, or the brackets with the lowest number of terms, sorry. So I'm going to start right here with this one, and I'm just going to say this y is going to multiply by every term in that bracket. And so I'm going to say, actually, you know, it might be easier. Let's do it the other way. It might help your brain. Let's start with the first term, 2y squared. I mean, our brains work left to right. Let's work left to right. 2y squared has to multiply by both terms in the next bracket when we're multiplying. So 2y squared multiplied by y gives me 2y to the power of 3. And 2y squared multiplied by negative 6 gives me negative 12y squared. And then I'm going to multiply the next term of my trinomial by both terms in the brackets, the following brackets. So negative 3y multiplied by y is going to give me negative 3y squared. And negative 3y multiplied by negative 6 is going to give me positive 18y. And then I'm going to multiply that negative 7 by both terms in the bracket. And I get negative 7 multiplied by y is minus 7y. And negative 7 multiplied by negative 6 gives me positive 43, I think. Yes, totally. So the reason I did it that way, where I started with the first term and then multiplied it by everything in the second brackets, and then I went to the second term and multiplied it by everything in the brackets, and then the third term and multiplied it by everything in the brackets, the y minus 6, is so that I made sure that every term in the first set of brackets multiplied by every term in the second set of brackets. Now what you can do is combine your like terms. Well, I only have one y cubed term, so I'm going to write that down as 2y cubed and just leave it. Now I'm going to look at my y squared terms. I have negative 12y squared minus 3y squared. That's going to give me negative 15y squared. And in the next one, I have plus 18y's minus 7y's. It's going to give me plus 11y. And then I have my constant back here, plus 43. 42. Whoa, my brain is not working. I knew there was something wrong. 42. I apologize for that. Yeah, as soon as I wrote 43, something didn't feel right, and then I just kept going on. Well, we're all humans and we all make mistakes. I apologize for that. All right, so that is multiplying two larger terms together, a binomial by a trinomial, and it can get really complicated or just really big. It's not super complicated. You know how to do each of these steps. It's just a matter of staying organized, keeping it laid out nicely, and making sure that you don't forget about things. Like the next question here, it's pretty long. If I read that out, it's 4 multiplied by a minus 4, all multiplied by a squared minus 3a minus 6, subtract 4a minus 3 multiplied by 4a plus 3. So it's just a matter of dealing with things one at a time. So I'm going to leave that 4. That first 4, I'm not going to deal with it right now. The first thing I'm going to deal with is this binomial multiplied by this trinomial. So I'm going to go a multiplied by a squared. I'm going to multiply that a through all the brackets. So I'm going to get a multiplied by a squared is a cubed. A multiplied by negative 3a is negative 3a squared. And a multiplied by negative 6 is going to give me negative 6a. Then I'm going to multiply this negative 4 into that trinomial, to everything into that trinomial. So negative 4 multiplied by a squared is negative 4a squared. Negative 4 multiplied by negative 3a is positive 12a. And negative 4 multiplied by negative 6 is positive 24. And then I close my bracket. Now I'm going to deal with these two binomials multiplied by each other. So I'm going to put my subtraction sign, subtract, and then I'm going to FOIL those two. So I have 4a. So FOIL, if you remember, is first, outside, inside, last. So the first term's 4a multiplied by 4a, and that is 16a squared. And then outside is 4a multiplied by positive 3, and that's plus 12a. And then negative 3 multiplied by 4a, those are the inside terms, is negative 12a. And then negative 3 multiplied by positive 3, the last terms in each bracket, gives us a negative 9. Okay, let's start adding like terms together within the brackets. So I'm going to leave that 4 here. And then I'm going to look into the first set of brackets here. I have an a cubed term, a cubed, and there's no other a cubed terms. I have negative 3a squared and a negative 4a squared. So that can simplify to negative 7a squared. And then I have that is not my highlighter. Negative 6a plus 12a, and that's going to give me positive 6a. And then I have plus 24 bracket. What can I simplify in the next brackets? Well, right away we can see that those two terms right there cancel each other out. So I am left with 16a squared minus 9. So we're starting to reduce things a little bit. All right, the next thing I want to do is multiply this 4 into every term in these brackets. That 4 is multiplied by that term right there, so we can rewrite that as 4a cubed minus 28a squared plus 24a, right? 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. 4 times positive 6 is positive 24. And 4 times 24 is 80 and 16, which should be 96. Let's see if my mental math is good. Looks good, yeah. And I'm going to subtract everything in that term from, and the next one here. So I have my first term, subtract 16a squared minus 9, and now I just need to do those subtractions. So there's no a cubed term in the second bracket, so I'll just leave the first a cubed term there, 4a cubed. Now I have negative 28a squared, subtract 16a squared, and that's going to give me, oh geez, okay, subtract, negative, subtract, so we're going to 44, negative 44a squared. And then we have a positive 24a, and there's no other a term, so we're going to leave that positive 24a. And then the last two terms, positive 96 minus 9, is going to give us, positive 96 subtract minus 9. And when we subtract a negative, we are going to add. So it's basically like 96 plus 9, which is going to give us plus 105. It's important to keep track of everything. I almost forgot that that was a subtraction. and that would have been bad. I almost missed that was a negative over here too. You can see that there's lots of moving parts, and it's important to keep everything straight. The other thing you can do is you can use your area diagrams for each of these and then plug them back in when you get the answer with that 4 in front, and then reduce it from there, which is pretty cool. Product of 3 binomials. So now we know how to multiply 2 binomials together. That's foiling. We can do this with 3 binomials. So there's a really fun problem here where they do it as a cube, and they say this side here is x plus 1, and this side here is x plus 2, and the third side is x plus 5. And when you find the volume of that, you always go length times width times height, and you end up multiplying all 3 of these binomials together. It's a pretty cool problem. If you really want to do it, totally go for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to do these 2 problems down here just to I'm going to do one of these anyways, because I think they end up being the same question, just to show you what's going on. So what I would suggest when you're multiplying 3 binomials, we have 1, 2, and 3. When you're multiplying 3 binomials together, just pretend one doesn't exist for a second. So what you can do is any one, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take this x minus 3, and I'm just going to put it here, x minus 3. And then I'm going to FOIL these ones. FOIL. So I'll put the bracket there, and I'm going to FOIL those last 2. So FOIL is first. X multiplied by 2x is 2x squared. X multiplied by negative 1 is negative x. And the inside terms, positive 4 multiplied by 2x is plus 8x. And positive 4 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 4. We can simplify that. We have a negative 1x plus 8x. So I'm going to say x minus 3 and 2x squared. So negative 1x plus 8x is plus 7x minus 4. And now we have a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. So what you can do is just look at the first term, this x here, and multiply it by every corresponding term, or every term in the next bracket. And then you can take this negative 3 and multiply by every term in those brackets. So let's do the first one, the x. X multiplied by 2x squared is 2x cubed. X multiplied by plus 7x is plus 7x squared. And x multiplied by negative 4 is negative 4x. That's everything with using that x. And now we're going to multiply this negative 3 through. So we get negative 3 multiplied by 2x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 3 multiplied by positive 7x is negative 21x. And negative 3 multiplied by negative 4 is positive 12. And what you can do is simplify that. So combine any like terms. We have a positive 7x squared here and a negative 6x squared there. So positive 7x squared subtract 6x squared gives us 1x squared. And I forgot to start here. So we have a 2x cubed. There's no other x cubed term, so we just carry that, 2x cubed. And then we have a negative 4x term and a negative 21x term. So if I have negative 4x's and I subtract 21 more x's, I have negative 25x's. And then we have this constant term back here, plus 12, and there's no other constant terms. So we could say plus 12. There you go. I think that's pretty much it. So it's all the skills you already know. We're just looking at it larger, right? It's going to be bigger. That is the last bit of the polynomial unit. So we've done our second unit. That's fantastic. Make sure you know how to FOIL. Make sure you know how to multiply larger equations like this. And then in the factoring unit, we're going to look at how to take it all apart. And we're going to go from our answer and we're going to go back to the question. Awesome. Hopefully this video worked. It's a new video recording software. I have no idea how long that was. I think it was pretty quick. And I'll see you guys later.